So as you can see my screen, this is the code. But before coming to the code, let me introduce some things about that Python programming. Why do we learn Python programming, and what's the requirement, and why should people go for learning Python? See, there are different kind of programming languages available in the market, like Java, right? Uh, Python, C, C++, and many more. There are a lot of programming languages are available, but Python nowadays are in boom, and everyone they are using this Python programming language because a lot of diversity you get in Python is a dynamic language. What do you mean by this dynamic language? In Python, you can have a lot of opportunities to build desktop application. Obviously these programming languages are used to build software website, right? So this Python you can use to build a desktop. Now many of this people they ask like we can do this in another also. What else that Python is providing? Python is providing with that desktop application, it's providing website application or web application, you can say that you can develop a web application. And this web application you can develop it, and then you can have a opportunity to like work with image data. Means you can process the image data, like you can read the image data, any of these images you can read it. Like suppose now my face you can see it, right? So such kind of image you can read it, and you can get an understanding from that image, like what actually the RGB image, or whether it is a black and white image, color image. This thing you can do it in Python. Color image, or like a grayscale image, that is called black and white image, right? And you can do many more application like face recognition application. If you try to do this face recognition application built on Java, it will take a lot of time, and even might be possible or not, that we can't say it. But if you use Python with some libraries, you can easily develop it. So this is a use cases, like how you can use these Python programming languages to build an application software, and like face recognition application, as I said, right? Now there is one more example. GPS. We use Google Map, right, to find out the routes or find out the routes when we book Ola or cab. Then how we can find out the route, how it is far away, whether it is near to you, far, or it is how far it is from you. That we can find it out with the help of means GPS, right? That is also coded in Python programming language, and the machine learning and deep learning based architectures and application. So this is about this Python programming. Like you can develop Google Map applications. Now what else you can develop it here? You can develop driver software also in this. In Python, you can develop a driver software and many more application. You can work with this Python. This is difficult to do it in C, C++. Now one more thing, video processing. Means suppose I give you like camera, right? Nowadays everyone they are using camera, security camera. In that security camera there are a lot nowadays smart devices we are using. So based on that you can find it out whether the person, any object is there or person is there. Like suppose I am delivering a lecture, so from video you can see that a person who is sitting here, he is giving you lecture, right? So by the code you can like process the video also. Means you can improve the quality of video. You can find it out who, whether a person is there or animal is in the video, or like a object is there. That kind of application also develop you can in this help of Python. But the Java, C, C++, they are also a good programming language, diverse, but the easiness that you get it in Python, that you won't get it there. That it's very difficult to do it in a Java. If I say you to do these applications, and lot of time consuming, but Python is very easy to learn, and you can develop it very easily. Python programming any application, because lot of libraries or lot of features are available. In short, if I say you don't like, if you are not aware about libraries, just think like lot of opportunities you get, or like lot of features you get it, that you can develop an application easily in Python. So this is about a short introduction, and based on that, we were actually going through this Python data structure, like what is the data structure in Python. So data structure is one module in Python, or in every programming language we have. Data structure means what? Collection of data, organization of data, means how data organized so that it will provide you is to manipulate data, search data, delete data, add data. Add data, you can say it, or like you can say, you can say update data also, you can say it. Like suppose these are the collection, means just like if you have aware about any programming language, then array is the first data structure that everyone they learns in the when they learn any programming language. Array is also a data structure where we save the data and we process the data, and in that data, uh, means that make us easy, means array is a kind of data structure that allow you to collect the data, homogeneous data. Organize the data means data are arranged in a sequence. With the help of index, you can access the data, and it will provide you easiness to can manipulate the data. You can search the data, you can delete the data, you can update the data. Update means you can modify, update, whatever you can use it. Update or modify, I'm trying. And there is one more thing that is called as append. Append means you can add a data at the end of any list. So this is the data structure about. For example, let me give you one example. Suppose you have a okay, let's take an example of a train, right? In the train, we you might have seen the bogies, right? They are connected with each other in this form. Suppose this is a two threes, like four boxes are there, means rail bogie, you can say, or like a rail train, right? So inside this, each and every rail bogie is connected with another, right? There is a connection between them. So they are following a sequence. They are following a sequence here, right? They are following a sequence here. Like you can say, this is the box number one, this is box number two, three, right? So they are following a sequence, right? And you can see here how these boxes are arranged so that they can form the complete train, right? So here it's also like that, means data are arranged in one sequence, or you it, and we can anytime we can move any of this box, right? Suppose if you want to move this box, suppose any maintenance work is going on, so how we do that? We remove this first connection between these two. We first remove this, and we get place it at the end. Or maybe suppose if you want to remove it, whatever it is, suppose you want to place it here, what operation you will going to do? You will make again a new connection, and you will going to edit this box here. So now next time, so next time what it will be, like suppose this 3 will be appear here, and this 3 will be going to remove, right? A data structure means what you understand, I think. Data structure means a collection of a data, okay, where you can organize the data. Now here I'm organizing in what way? This is my data, suppose the boxes are my data. I organize them in a sequence. Now what I'm doing, I'm modifying it. Now this 3, the box number 3, I added at the end, and I will going to remove this. So now in place of this I will just remove this 3. The connection will still remain, only the box 3 will be not appear. So it means that the connection will be now between 2 to 4, right? So what I did here, I did modification, I moved this box to the end. So now in this way you can collect the data, modify the data. So there are different data structure in the Python we have. What are the different data structure in Python? Like list, right? Stack, list, set, dictionary, and we have a tuple. So these are some data structure which are used in Python. What are this data structure? These are actually used to hold a collection of an element, a set of an element. For example, let me show you once running the code, and then I will explain this part. You can see this code, right? This is actually the Google Colab. What this Google Colab is, like either you can run a Python code on your local notebook, that is Jupyter Anaconda, or you can run it on your notebook, notepad, sorry, and or you can run it on this Google Colab also. So how you can access this Google Colab? Just open the new tab, type Google Colab, press enter, and once you see this, click on this Google Colab. But remember one thing, when you want to open this Google Colab, you should have a login with any Gmail ID, because this Gmail ID will be, Google Colab is a service given by your Google for writing this Python code. So you should have a access to this Gmail ID or any like mail ID. You can log in with any Gmail ID and then search for Google Colab, so it will open it, just like as you can see on my screen. When I type Google Colab, and when I like I was already logging it before with this mail ID, and when I click it, you can see this option is giving me, this option is nothing but it's saying like what file you want to open, whether if you want to open any file from the your local system, you can upload it. If it is in Google Drive, you can upload it. From GitHub you want to upload, you can upload it. Like this it is. So I wanted to know from in the group, like like have you ever worked on some Python based application? Any application have you developed it? And or maybe you have worked on, or maybe you have explored, any one of you, anyone, any application that you come to know in your day to day life that it's built on Python or something? Anyone? Okay. Tejas. Okay. Okay, like here you can.
Did you ask me something, sir?
Yeah, yeah. I just say like means you might have experienced something that like which application that you use in day to day life that can be built on Python or something. Any application that you feel that it was developed in Python that we use in our day to day life. Anyone? Or you might have developed any application.
I have developed applications, and it's not that Python is used in many applications. A lot of Python algorithms are used in many applications,
Okay.
like to check if the user has not like is away for a long time, he's not using the application. Many algorithms are there which are used in application.
Okay. Yeah, correct. So this Python, the best example I can give you, like your mobile, when you daily log in your mobile. Okay, so as Tejas, you said absolutely correct. You have used might be the Python in developing any application. So here, like some people when they log in their mobile, they either use a face unlock or fingerprint pattern, right? That fingerprint pattern is built on Python programming language. It was accepting your pattern when we give any finger, any thumb, or like this finger index value. You can see my finger. when we give this pattern, this is an image base. This image is accepted by your scanner of this Facebook, or like a face lock unlock, or like fingerprint lock. uh, Means in case of face, you will going to provide your face, but in case of fingerprint, we just give a pattern of this index finger. And then on that, as I said you, the application that Python works on image. So there, this Python programming language works. A lot of application they are built on Python, which are fingerprint based. So this was the one example. And that code, you that code can be built on, either you can build on the notepad, you can build on the Colab, you can build it on notebook, anything. So like you can see on my screen, here, you can see it, right? Here you can see this, I have written this, I open this Google Colab. Now I just let you know, like, how you can declare any data structure here. Now you can see here, I have made one list. And okay, before coming to that, let me explain you from here that what is a list and all. So as I said you, there are different kind of data structure, right? List, set, dictionary. And what are these? Okay, these are also a collection of an element. Okay, like suppose, in Python, how you declare any variable. We declare a variable like this: a is equal to 2. Okay, and when you print it, it will going to print a value. In Python, when you want to print it, you will going to simply write a print element and it will going to print it. What is the difference in Python and other programming language? For printing an element, in Python we just write print. Okay, what is in Java, you write, you need to write a lengthy lines like system out println, right? You will going to write like this. In C++, you will going to write like this. In C++ language. And in C language, we need to write like this: printf. In the inside this printf function, we're going to write value of a. Right? So you can see the differences in which one syntax is more easier. Obviously the Python. In Python, just you are printing print a, and it will going to print it. But what about like system out println Java, C out, or printf, right? So you can see in Java you need to write this lengthy system out println. In C out it is easier, but in printf, in C language, you need to write a printf and this format specifier like you need to add it with this variable, right? So this was the difference between the syntax, how you can write down, right? And now, as we all know, right, like I've already told you how the collection works. So in order to that make the collection works, for example, let's start about the list. These all the different type of, you can say, data structure, a kind of which is holding the list of element. As I told you, that when you want to work with a single element, you save like this a2, right? But you can't save like this: a is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? It sometime it will give an error. But Python won't be able to identify, like if you want to assign multiple value. So how you can do it means, when you want to work with a group of data. Okay, in case we use the data structure, we use this different kind of data structure that you can see on my paint screen, like list, set, dictionary, tuple. These all are data structure that we use. You can simply declare like this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if you want to print, it will work, right? Because now when you print the value of a will holding the group of an element. A will hold a group of an element, right? Similarly, you can deal with this set, dictionary, tuple also. They are also having the same data structure, which are working on the set of an element with some differences. In set is also data structure. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to tell you, list is mutable, means you can change the list once. Suppose you have added this element, now you want to append or you want to remove from a, you can simply remove it. If you want to append on the a any element, you can append it. Like suppose you want to append 2 also, it will take it. So list is mutable. Mutable means changeable, means it can be easily changed, right? But there is one more data structure that is called tuple. And what is the syntax of tuple, how you're going to use? In tuple you are going to use parenthesis instead of square bracket. Are you seeing like you are using this square bracket here, right? In tuple it is also similar to the list only, but the thing is that here you are using parenthesis, like 1 2 3. And the difference is that this tuple is immutable. You can't change it. If you want to change the content of element, you can't change the content of element. So tuple is immutable. Now the third is set. Set is one more data structure. In this set, it will not allow duplicate element, and it is represented with curly braces. The set will not allow duplicate element. Okay, duplicate element means just like you are trying to append. Means append means what? I told you append means here you can add at the end of the list. Means this two will be going to add after this six. But in set, if you try to add a duplicate element, or if it is having a duplicate element, the set won't allow those duplicate element. So set, it will not allow the duplicate value. And now dictionary. What is a dictionary? These are all that I'm telling you, these all are data structure, or you can say the collection which is holding the group of data. Okay, so this dictionary is also holding the group of a data with them. Like suppose you want to save inside the dictionary the values like 1. Do you see any pattern here? Here we are using key value pair. Key value pair means what? Here my left hand side will be key and right hand side will be the value. Means this key 1 will going to identify the value that is on right hand side. So it is following this format. You might have seen this format in some file like JSON file. If you have done work in the JSON format, then you might have aware about it. Like this is called a key value. Key is what? Key is your left hand side and value will be on right hand side. Such kind of data also you can save it in some collection that is called a dictionary, which is holding data in the form of key and value. So this was the data structure, right? Now how you can effectively use this collection or Python data structure in actual real-time example. So there are a lot of data structures are there, like stack, queue, linked list, tree, graph. These are the in a real-time scenario I will going to give you what are the scenario and in which scenario we will going to use this stack, queue, linked list, tree and graph. Before going to that, let me run the few lines of the code. So when you are going to follow this data structure, you are going to follow this link, Python org. Python org document, you can use it to study more about the list or to study more about the data structure. That data structure is with related to Python, and how you can use this data structure to work with your different kind of data structure that we work on the real life scenario. What are the real life scenario we have? We have a real life scenario like in our day-to-day life, how this stack, queue, linked list, tree, graph usually works. Now let me tell you about the queue. Queue is one data structure. Okay, what method it follows? It says whoever data inserted first will remove first, right? For example, you might have you ever standing on the line, maybe while booking a ticket on the railway station, bus stand, or like maybe somewhere. So you might be thinking like, now let's take an example of this only. Suppose there are a group of four people. They are standing on a line waiting for their turn to get the ticket. Now this person, for example, Tatkal ticket, if you can say. So this first person, once he will get the ticket, he will remove out of the line. Who, like, now the next turn will be of this two. This will get the ticket. Now third will be uh, get the third number will get the turn. Once he will get the ticket, now four people, right? So what it says, a queue is a kind of data structure concept. Queue means it says you, whoever the data, whatever the data, you can say whatever the data, or like whatever data we inserted first will remove first. Now if your data is inserted, it's just like in a line. The person who is standing first on the queue, he will be removed first. Who is standing on the next, he will remove later. Who will be standing third, he will remove on the third number, on fourth, like this. This is called as a queue. Now there is another data structure that is called stack. This is actually in the real life, means that this is one I told you with related to the Python data structure. This is the concept that this Python data structure will going to use. Means we will going to implement this data structure, stack, queue, tree, with the help of this Python data structure, because we are learning Python. So stack is one more data structure. Okay.
So
It
stacks and queues are kind of opposite, right?
Yes, correct, correct, Tejas. Stack is completely opposite. It says the person who, or it says data inserted last will remove first. So in short, you can learn it by this: last in, first out. Okay, whichever data is inserted at a last will remove first. And Q, what this is, first in, first out, means the data which is inserted first will remove first. Okay, so these, they both are opposite to each other. Q says like whichever is inserted first will remove first. First in, first out means whichever data is inserted first will remove first. And stack says last in, first out, means the data which is at the end will remove first. So this is queue and stack. I think this meeting will be get over in 1 minute. Please join this meeting back by connecting on the same link. Please join the link by connecting on the same link that you have connected. If it get disconnected. So here you can see queue and stack both are opposite. Similarly, there are two more data structure we have. What are those? This tree and graph. That this tree and graph I will start in once we connect back on